Hey, what's up everybody? It's Randy. Thanks for joining me today on the Black Orchid Project. I hope you guys are all doing well. If you've been following the channel, you know I always talk to you about how orchids are not pretty much sold to you with the idea of them lasting much past the bloom stage, if that long. So the other day I would just happen to be in the store. Well, didn't happen to be in the store. I was in the store and I passed by the florist area because I always do that to see if there's anything on clearance or anything unique that I want to pick up. And I came across not one, but two different examples of what I mean when I say that these plants are not sold to you with the idea of you succeeding. So we're going to go through these plants, see what's going on with them. I kind of know, but I haven't done a deep dive into them yet. We're going to do that together. We're going to get these things cleaned up and put them in a situation where hopefully we can get them healthy and get them to rebloom again. All right, so let's get right into this. So in most cases, even in good situations, they'll sell you these plants inside little decor pots. But they won't give you any instructions other than put an ice cube in it or water it, once a week. And a lot of people believe, they don't check to make sure that there's no holes in the bottom here. And so they'll water and then the water will get stuck in there and then they'll just say, oh, they said water once a week. They'll walk by, put more water, and next thing you know, you got a bunch of stale, moldy water in there that is going to ruin your are going to basically rot your roots and then, of course, kill your plant. But at least they are in this plastic container. If you've been watching the YouTube channel or my channel, then like I just tell you, like, hey, take it out, water it somewhere else, let it drain, put it back in here, and you are good to go. You are way ahead of the game on keeping your orchid alive just by doing that. What I found with these two guys here is that there's no plastic pot in here, and I'm going to pull these out in just a second. But there's no holes in here. There are a few holes down at the bottom here in this particular pot. And so, and there's a little bit of a step up. So there's a little air can get in here, but really not enough to to prevent this from root rotting. Same thing here. There's no holes in this pot, and there's no hole in the bottom here. You can see there's no holes or anything at the bottom here. And so these are basically set up to fail. Now, when I walk by, I start digging for the pot. So one thing you want to do is when you walk by one of these plants is to just put your hand in to see if it's in a plastic pot. If it's not in a plastic pot and it's not on clearance and you don't want to do the whole shebang, then just keep on walking, because more than likely the blooms are not going to last that long. And then it's probably going to die on you pretty quick. If you could decide to buy it and repot it, a lot of times your blooms will fall. So that might be one to pass on until you go back and the blooms have fallen and they have it on sale. So let's take a quick look and see what we got going on in this plant. And I know this is going to be bad. It's probably going to kill you, but I am just going to pull this out to see if I can tell how long it's been in here, and we're going to see how bad these roots are. Now, I haven't looked, so we're going to kind of do this together. It's pretty solid in here, and I'm grabbing it really tight by the crown and just kind of pulling up on it here. So let's see. We'll pull this out and just kind of lay it down here. Now, let's look and see what we have here. Pull that back, and looks like we got some green roots. Now, what I'm noticing here is that there is you can see this was in a pot at some point. This was grown in a pot. As you can see, these are totally separate from this. And so at some point, they decided when they got ready to sell this plant, again, this is somebody's idea. I'm not quite sure if it was a nursery, I'm not quite sure if it's a store, but they decided to take it out the pot and then put it in here and then stuff sphagnum moss all around it. And again, for somebody who's not aware, they will buy this and they will go by the, I'm going to water it once. I don't want to break this. Let me be careful. I'm going to water this once a month or once a week, and it is going to be fine. And again, it's going to get mushy. I'm going to take that out. Now, let's take a look at these roots here. They actually look pretty good. Like, that's healthy, healthy, healthy. So for the most part, these roots are pretty healthy. I don't see any mold buildup yet. As you can see, some of these down at the bottom are a little soggy, so I'm going to take these off definitely. But for the most part, it's pretty healthy. Now, the thing about this particular one, I don't want to do too much to it, only because it has a secondary spike here, and it looks like a secondary spike here. Now, this one has what looks like a terminal bud on it, so unless something comes from, no, I don't think we're going to get a bud from here. But on this side, it looks like we got at least 3 buds, and then, of course, the terminal bud. So for now, just because I want to see what this flower looks like, I'm not going to do much to it, but probably put it in a pot and, kind of get it secured in a pot and just let these hopefully rebloom. I don't think what we're doing right now is going to hurt it too much. I'm going to keep an eye on it and make sure no mold builds up on it. If I start to see that it's going to be more detrimental for it for me to keep it as it is without tending to the roots, then I'll sacrifice the blooms just to keep the plant healthy. So that's what we're going to do with that one. I'm going to kind of move this to the side here. And then let's look at this one. Now, this is the first one I came across because I stuck my finger here and didn't feel anything, and just kind of dug and realized, oh my gosh, this is not in a plastic pot. Now, this will make for a great pot if you can put some holes in it. Same thing with that one. This one is going to need a ceramic drill, but if you can get a ceramic drill and drill holes in this will make an awesome pot. This one I wouldn't use as much, but you could if you want to. I just don't think the plant is big enough for this size plant. That's why it needed to be in a pot in here. So when I was going through here, I did see a little bit of that white, kind of moldy, fuzzy stuff in here somewhere, but I don't want to dig and move it around too much, but it is in there. But as you can see, there's no pot in here. And let's pull this one out and see if it was planted in here or what's going on. So out it comes, and there is another layer down here. So it looks like they stuck this in here, put it on top of it, and that is pretty wet. So I'm wondering what we're going to get when we pull this off. Oh, well, that kind of fell off, and look, as you can see, this is nice and compact, and this was actually grown in a pot too. So something tells me, which is common, these two plants came from the same grower. So the growers decided to keep their plastic pots to use them again, and they just took them in these pots, put them in there, sent them off to the big box store, and the big box store, they don't look at it, they don't really care, they don't have that much time, so they just literally just put them out on the floor just like this, and not understanding that they are selling something that is misrepresenting what this is supposed to be. And this is a plant. This is not just a flower that's going to die. It is a plant that's meant to live, and the way that they are selling it is it's not going to live. So one positive note about this, don't worry about this. They naturally will do this. They'll kind of die off here, and they'll die back on their own. And I'm going to actually, I think, cut this one, since I can see it's dying back past the first node, but I think I'm gonna let this one stay for a while. Now, there is a positive sign here, and there is a new leaf coming out here. So this has not gone into distress too much yet, so we're just gonna kind of, I think I am gonna clean this one out and get it in some nice soil, and pretty much keep it healthy. I 100% will say I'm surprised at what I found. I was expecting it to be in a lot worse shape than it is. Again, I don't know if the nursery did it. I don't know if the store did it, but it hasn't been in this condition very long for them to really go real bad. But you can see here, they were starting to, like, these are all papery and they were starting to go bad. So it's a good thing that we got a hold of this, or I got a hold of this, and I'm going to get them in some good bark. Like I said, I'm just going to get this one secure in another pot, get this one in some new bark, and we are going to go from there to keep the, you know, for the most part, to keep these healthy and to see if we can get them to bloom again. All right, guys, so I'm glad we caught these when we did. I can be honest with you, they are definitely not as bad as I thought they were, considering what I had to pay for them. Again, on clearance, it has gone up since the Black Orchid Project started. I don't feel bad about what I paid for them, and I do think these are going to turn around and be two really good plants. Like I said, with this one, this is just, it's got a new leaf, it's going to be healthy, it's going to grow. So that was definitely worth it. And with this one definitely has two new buds. As long as this doesn't stress it out too much, got two new buds coming. So definitely was not as bad as I thought they were. I don't know how long they had been in there. I believe they probably haven't been in there that long, so we caught them ahead of time. So I am going to go because, as you can see, I have created a giant mess here. I need to get this cleaned up. I'm going to get one just totally stripped down and repot it, and the other one I'm just going to get it secure to see if I can get those blooms to come out. And if I do, I will definitely update you on that, so make sure you stick around for that. That being said, if you like the video, go on and subscribe, or at least give it a thumbs up or leave a comment so that YouTube knows you are getting content that you like. If you would like to become part of the Black Orchid Project community, go on and join me over on Instagram. And if you really want to become part of the community, join me over on Patreon. For a small donation, you become part of our little group over there. We talk plants and I do giveaways, things like that. So that's Patreon at the Black Orchid Project. And if I've helped you along the way save a plant and you just want to say thank you, or I've given you information you like, you can head on over to Buy Me a Coffee and just make a small donation. Again, all of this is just a little bit of thank you, and it helps keep the content coming. So that is going to do it for me today. As always, be safe. More importantly, be kind. Never give up on them. And until next time, peace.